indeed, my friend. What's up, everybody? We are coming to you from, once again, parts unknown. It's not really unknown parts. Everyone knows where we are. We're sitting over here at the house. The today's reason for being at the house is a little different than we normally have had. Um, we are on. We're sitting here at the house simply because we don't have a car. So if you figure that's a good reason to be at the house, then yeah, that's why we're here. My truck is currently at the dealership, and I'm getting to pay some money to get the opportunity to find out what's wrong with it. So we're not even fixing anything right now. We are simply figuring out what is actually wrong. So that's what we got going on. It's very exciting though. It's obviously the best time of the year. We're sitting here talking about the NCAA tournament. That is the best time of the year. We all know that. Very excited that we get an opportunity to discuss this. It is just as good as it gets, man. The tournament is absolutely the best. It is the single best sporting event that we've got, and especially the first weekend. The Virginia game notwithstanding, that was ugly. Virginia was ugly, but the other game was really good, and that was fun. And I'm anticipating a good one tonight between Grambling and Montana State. So hopefully that also holds true. But yeah, look, there's a lot of revisionist history. There's a lot of people saying that Virginia shouldn't have been in because of how they played, but that's not accurate. That's not a fair assessment. They did enough. Would I rather have had Indiana State, who plays a little more aesthetically pleasing style, in the tournament? Yeah, I would have. Sure, and I think anyone who is a college basketball fan likely would have rather seen Virginia not in the tournament and Indiana State in the tournament. They're a really good offensive team. They've got one of the best players in college basketball, all of that. So yeah, I would think it's very easy to say, yes, we would like to have seen a more aesthetically pleasing team in the Southland Conference, in the NCAA tournament. But that's not how life works, unfortunately. Wish it were, but it's not. So yeah, we're here. We're hanging out. We're back up on the YouTube stream. We are also available for you if you like over on the regular radio, which is cool. We like that, but it's yeah, we're just happy to be here, man. As Rogers always likes to say, just happy to be here. So that's what we got going on. It is the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, and available to you via the YouTube channel. So if you're used to watching us on YouTube, we are up and running there. You get to see my sweet headboard again, which I know will make everyone very happy to have that going on. But yeah, we're here and we're happy, and it's a good day. We're looking forward to watching some tournament basketball. Let's talk about the next couple of days. All right, we're going to be here tomorrow, but on the road. I will be doing a remote from Dax over on the Southern Loop. If you've been with us for the last, 3, 4, 5 years now, we've done the remote out at Dax quite a bit. So you know that we're usually out there. So come out and hang out with us. They got happy hour all day long. They've got multiple televisions that are out there, and we'll be watching all the games. So if you're looking for a place to go to watch the games, to hang out, to eat a little lunch, then come join us over at Dax Wings and Grill. And again, that is over on the Southern Loop. So if you know right there kind of where the Southern Loop and Norris Ferry connect, we are going to be just down the road from that on the Southern Loop. So feel free to come out and hang out with us and check it out. Again, happy hour all day, which means I almost said 150. They would not have liked it if I'd said that. $1.50 off of all drinks. So that's pretty good. Happy hour all day long. So come hang out, join us. We look forward to seeing you. It's always one of our favorite days of the year. The first day of the full tournament that is going on, and we will be out at Dax on Thursday from 1 to 3. Also, we will not have a show on Friday. So because of sort of the unknown nature of the LSU women's basketball game, we will not be doing a show on Friday. So just wanted to update everyone, let everyone know what's going on. So tomorrow, on location at Dax, come out and hang out with us, have a drink, have some food, great wings, burgers are fantastic. It is going to be a great time. So come out and hang out with us there. And then we also do have, if you like, we can get you a tremendous deal on again, $1.50 off of drinks, all of that stuff. So come hang out and enjoy happy hour all day long, and TVs on every wall. A lot of opportunity to watch the tournament. It's as good as it gets, man. I can't recommend Dax highly enough. So come see us, hang out with us. You won't be able to miss me. I'll be at a big table and just be chilling out. You'll see my microphone and my laptop and all of that stuff. So we'll have that available to you. So feel free to come hang out with us. It will be a heck of a lot of fun, man. Heck of a lot of fun. And then no show on Friday. So tomorrow at Dax from 1 to 3, and then no show on Friday. Had something very tragic happen yesterday. And I say that tongue-in-cheek. Don't think I'm about to tell you a horrific sob story. It's a tongue-in-cheek. We'll call it a barbecue tragedy that we'll discuss coming up here in just a little bit, involving our much esteemed ESPN Plus producer James Stanfield down in Natchitoches. So we'll talk about that. We had a little softball yesterday as well. Got a little walk-off. I hadn't gotten to call a walk-off in quite a while, but we got a little walk-off action, which was fun for Northwestern State. So we can talk a little bit about that. LSU men's basketball played in the first round of the NIT, and their season is now over. They face the defending champion of the NIT, and North Texas took them down. We've also got some pretty dumb comments from Tom Izzo, who I think very highly of or respect. But Tom Izzo said something that just was not smart, and we'll discuss that. So all of that's happening for you coming up here on the Patrick Netherton Show. So we're going to experiment with something today. I don't know if this is going to work, but I am going to leave the possibility open that you may be able to call the show. Okay, so I'm not 100% certain that this is going to be viable, but we will, if nothing else, have perhaps the opportunity to do that. With the fact that I have had the ability to record, we recorded Will Wade on the laptop. I believe that I can send the telephone signal back down the line. So if you would like to call the show, I believe we will be able to take your calls. It will not be the regular phone line. It will be on the text line. So instead of texting the text line, you would call the text line at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Again, I'm not 100% certain that this will work. I believe it will. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we will have the option to take phone calls. So if you want to get in and talk about LSU, baseball team got a win over Tech last night. Softball team, after going undefeated to start the season, dropped 2 of 3 against Ole Miss. Baseball team dropped 2 of 3 on the road at Mississippi State. So a lot of LSU stuff to discuss. If you want to talk about anything else that's on your mind, LSU women's basketball, NCAA tournament, I believe we will have the option to let you call in. So again, you would call the text line, and I believe I would be able to get you through by calling the text line. So that's my hope. I believe it would work that way. Since I send all the audio back down the line to Rogers anyway, I believe I would be able to do that. So, and we may test it out. I may text EH and just say, hey, can you call in and let's see if we can, let's see if this works, basically, because we haven't had a chance to test it. And then obviously we're on location tomorrow at DAX on the Southern Loop, and we have no show on Friday. So last show of the week will be tomorrow. All right. Again, phone line is the text line for when I'm on remote. And again, I'm fingers crossed that this actually works. I don't know 100% that it does work, but we are going to keep our fingers crossed that it would work. So if you want to be a part of that, then the phone line and the text line are the same. The Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line is also the phone line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426, also known as the text line, so find us there. So again, no phone line, no traditional phone line, but call the text line, 657-0426. And if you would like to talk, I believe we can get you through that way. So fingers crossed that works. I may see if I can get EH to call in the next segment just to double check it and make sure it works. Okay, so that's the way that you get in touch with the show, either by phone or text, the same number. You can also find us, if you like, via the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is up and running. That is youtube.com/@Netherton Show. youtube.com/@Netherton Show. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel while you're there. If you have not subscribed to the channel, we would ask that you please do so. It would be greatly appreciated if you have not subscribed. Again, it's youtube.com/@Netherton Show. If you would like to be a part on the YouTube channel. We are also available, if you like, on Twitter/X. @Netherton Show is the main one. @PT Netherton would be me, and that guy over there would be @HeyBoyRogers. And I say that guy over there, he's like 12 miles from me right now. So I guess that's over there, Rogers. I guess. We're also available, if you like, on the App Store. You just look up the App Store, the iTunes App Store, or you can also find us over on Google Play. All you have to do is search for 1130 The Tiger, and that will get you hooked up and lined up and ready to go. And you download the app and listen to us. It sounds fantastic on the app. It really does. Super clear, crystal clear audio. So do it. Pick it up. Get the app, and let's have some fun that way. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend. Hi, man. Now, I know my YouTube folks don't get to hear Rogers talking and don't get to hear the Lollipop Guild and all that stuff. And I apologize. We are working on trying to get the full clean feed experience. And we'll hopefully make that happen maybe tomorrow for when I'm really on location, not just at the house. Hambone, how are you, brother? Yes, because there's no audio coming back down. It's correct. It's literally just a high pitch hum and a yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, we're hanging out there because the audio coming back down the line is just a it's just a big it's just a hum and a high pitched squeal. Yeah, don't hang up on me, brother. Don't give up on me now. Okay. How are you, man? Everything all right? I haven't seen you in 2 days. Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this, Rogers. Yep, and it worked perfectly. Yeah, yeah. And you shouldn't have to do that again. Yeah, we'll find out. I'll be on clean feet again tomorrow. Yeah, but sounds good. You sound good, my friend. Hey, that's what I like. If you need to hear me in as clear as possible, brother. Yeah. And the good news for Rogers is he doesn't have to look at my face today or tomorrow, and not Friday necessarily. If you yes, we did discuss. Are we talking about this publicly? Are we talking about this publicly? Okay. Okay, awesome. So we will be at Walk-Ons on Friday for lunch. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So for those that are on the YouTube channel, because you can't hear Rogers coming back down, basically we're going to show up at Walk-Ons in Shreveport on Uri Drive. We're going to be there on Friday, and we're going to have lunch, and we're going to watch some of the tournament, and just enjoy some fun and frivolity and fellowship. So yes, yeah, I could have done an hour and a half, something like that. Yeah, just right. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so if anyone wants to come by Walk-Ons on Friday, we will be there. Me and Rogers, Hester may show up. I don't know. Yeah. So Fletcher and Rogers and myself will be out there at Walk-On sometime in the 11 o'clock hour. We're going to have some lunch. We're going to watch some games. We're going to hang out, have a good time. So if are interested in being a part of that, come on out. We'd love to have you. So again, come join me at Dax tomorrow. We will be there tomorrow, and then come join us all on Friday at Walk-Ons. So a big lunchtime tournament, early tournament time here. So meet Hambone, greet Hambone, give him a hug, tell him how much you love him. All of that available to you at Walk-Ons on Friday. And oh, okay, I like it. I like it. Yeah, GeekCon Daddy, sure. Okay. Well, I'm already going to be there because I work the event. Hambone will not be alone. Rogers, you are not alone. You are not alone. I am here with you. Do we need to go to break now? Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I'm already working GeekCon, so I'll already be there running around. But yeah, it could be a Hambone sighting at GeekCon. You never know. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Let's talk tournament. Grambling plays this evening here in a couple hours against Montana State. Let's talk about the end of the LSU basketball season. If you want to talk LSU baseball versus Tech, LSU softball getting taken behind the woodshed a little bit by Ole Miss in their conference series there against Ole Miss. And whatever else you want to discuss, March Madness, brackets, all of that, we would love to have you with us. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, and find us over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. We'll be back. Hey, we welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show, right here on 1130 The Tiger. Roger's audio sounding okay on your end? Everything sound good? Okay, excellent. That's what I like to hear. Correct, yeah, through my phone. Yes. Now we got to get Kelly to get the clean feed working, which he's already agreed to help with. We just have to get it. We just have to get hooked up. But we'll get it working, and it'll be a thing of beauty, a sight to behold, much like Hambone every day. That's how he operates. All right, so Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, Rogers and Patrick, that's us. Hope everyone is having themselves a wonderful day. So I mentioned, as far as I can tell, we do have the ability to take phone calls. So if you would like to call the show, you can do so. I texted EH to see if he would like to kind of be our guinea pig on it, but I have not heard back. So, yeah, I'm hoping EH will give us a shout, and he'll be the guinea pig. But yeah, if any of you would like to call in, just call the text line, the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. So hit us up there. You can either text or call, and I believe I will be able to kind of get you on through there and route that back to Rogers, and everyone will be able to hear your phone call through the text line. So we will endeavor. Oh, there we go. All right, Rogers, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Let me know if you can hear him all right, brother. Here we go. All right, EH, are you there? Uh-oh. Hold on, let me double check. I've got the audio out. That looks right. Give me just a sec, EH. Hang on for me, brother. Let's do, I know. Always crazy. Yes, very scary. Weird, I'm not getting him. I don't know why. Huh. Well, he's still there. Let me see. He's not muted. Okay. I don't know why this thing's not routing through here. It should be grabbing it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. Well, I thought I had the desktop audio on there. But sure don't. Oh well. Okay. Well, sorry. I all of that to say that I apparently can't actually do it. Let me see. Yeah, I don't. That's weird. Should be giving me desktop audio, but it's not. I don't know. All right. Well, I guess we'll keep working on it. See. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, there we go. EH, are you still there, brother? Rogers, I had it muted. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything either. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna have him. Let me make sure he's still there. He may have hung up. Yeah, he hung up. Okay. I'm going to get him to call. Rogers. Oh, there we go. Now he's calling. Ooh, that's so loud. We need to do this. All right. All right, here we go, Rogers. All right, EH, you there? Hello, EH. Oh.
I'm here.
Oh, weird. It's not coming through. Are you hearing that, Rogers?
La, 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 la.
Yeah, I've got the Jeopardy theme. Sorry for a little on-air production here, but that's weird. I don't know why his audio wouldn't be coming through. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh, well. All right. It was a failure.
Here, but
He's there. He's talking. It's just, for whatever reason, not
you,
coming through. I don't know why.
you, Rogers loves Budweiser.
My apologies, everyone. No, no, he's there, and it's showing that his audio is going through, but just nothing coming through. I don't know why. I thought it would work. I thought it should be going right back down the line to you, but apparently not. Oh well. All right. Well, NCAA tournament going on. Obviously, a big thing. We are obviously super excited for the start of the full tournament, which begins tomorrow. But you do have Grambling going tonight. First time that the Tigers have ever been in the NCAA tournament. They find themselves as a 4.5 point underdog to 17-17 Montana State. Grambling 20-14 overall. They were 14-4 in SWAC play. Montana State comes in 17-7, and they were, where were they? Fifth, so 9-9 in Big Sky play. So with that as the backdrop, it is a potential opportunity for this Grambling State team to not only go ahead and make the tournament, but potentially to win a game in the tournament. And we were talking about this, and I saw some people I really like and respect on various platforms saying, "Hey, look, this is this isn't good. We shouldn't have the 16 seeds be in the play-in tournament. The 16 seeds should be playing in the full tournament, the main tournament, if you will, or what is, I guess, technically the second round." Well, again, as we talked about a couple of days ago, I am very much of two minds about this, because on the one hand, I do kind of agree that you're almost forcing a team that did automatic qualify because of its conference tournament. You're forcing that team to sort of play their way in to the main tournament. But on the other hand, how many chances, we've seen 2 16 seeds in the history of the tournament ever beat a 1. So instead of telling Grambling, okay, congratulations, you made the tournament, now go let Zach Edey beat your brains in. Now we're saying, hey, go play the Bobcats, and maybe you've got a chance to beat Montana State. They were 17-7 and 9-9 in the league, and they just kind of ran through their conference tournament, and they were a surprise team. So, seriously, I kind of like the idea that a 16 seed gets an opportunity to win a game. But if you tell me that you just want the final 8 at-larges to have to play their way into the quote-unquote main tournament, I 100% would go ahead and agree with that and be fine with that. So yeah, I would be absolutely okay if they decided to go ahead and do that. I'm somewhat skeptical of the idea that we need to let the at-larges just go ahead and get through. I do like the idea of having 8 at-larges. The last 8 at-larges have to earn their way in. And if they want to expand the tournament, it looks like they want to go to 70-plus teams, then how about we expand for some mid-majors, right? Some teams that had amazing seasons in their conference, but for whatever reason didn't get it done in their conference tournament. If McNeese had lost in the championship game to Nichols, right? Wouldn't McNeese have earned a chance to go play in the tournament because they lost one game? I would have liked to have seen that, right? Or some of these teams that have amazing regular seasons and then end up losing in their turn. I would like to see that, but it feels like we don't necessarily have that happening. So I would definitely like to have that go on. So maybe that's something that happens at some point in time. I don't know. It feels like that they're trying to expand, and it feels like they are going to expand. Like that feels like that's going to happen. I don't like it. I think the tournament is fine the way it is. We saw Tom Izzo talk about maybe we need to go back and rethink the number of at large or automatic qualifiers that are in the tournament, which is completely insane. Like the whole point of the NCAA tournament is the upsets, and then ultimately who can outlast over the course of 3 weeks and find their way in and win it, right? If you take out these automatic qualifiers, then Florida Atlantic is not in the Final Four last year. You don't have UMBC and I can't remember who the other 16 seed was that won. You don't have these stories. Fairleigh Dickinson, I believe, right? I think it was Fairleigh Dickinson last year that took down Purdue. So the idea that we need to make the tournament more about the power teams and less about the mid majors or low majors is insanity. Like you are literally taking out the thing that makes the tournament as great as it is. If this is a Power 5 invitational, there is absolutely there's no Cinderellas, right? There's no the slipper fits. There's no amazing upset. There's no team taking their shot. And by the way, someone pointed out, Tom Izzo has lost in the tournament to a bunch of mid-majors and low majors. So Tom Izzo may be doing this just selfishly because they're the ones that keep beating him. It's absolutely patently ridiculous to say that the tournament does not need to include the automatic qualifiers. This is what those guys at that level dream about, right? Grambling, never been to the NCAA tournament before. What is Grambling striving for? They are striving to get to the tournament. If they beat Montana State tonight, then, hey, that's just icing on the cake. But it is absolutely about getting to the tournament, right? Look at Wagner yesterday. Found a way to, I think, when they played Norfolk State, found a way to beat them. Had to withstand a late charge. They get it done. The locker room is electric because those guys, it means something to those guys. So if they want to ruin college basketball, then they listen to Tom Izzo or they listen to Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, and they take away the Cinderellas. They take away a Florida Atlantic making a run, a VCU making a run, a George Mason making a run. You take those teams out, and this tournament sucks. I'm sorry. There's no two ways about it. No one wants to see a below 500 ACC team over a 30-win McNeese team. No one wants to see that. There is not a person out there that is not a coach that is advocating for the tournament becoming more exclusive and more based on the Power 5, Power 6. No one's out there doing that. And the idea that we will You know, add. I get it. They want to add more, more at-large teams. Fine. I don't like it. The bubble was what it was. If you want to tell me that St. John's belonged in and Pitt belonged in, and wow, what was Virginia doing in the tournament? They're terrible. They weren't. They were 10-10 and didn't have a bad loss. They were 10-10 in quad 1 and 2 and did not have a loss in quads 3 and 4. So they earned their way in. They don't play a pretty brand of basketball. It's not aesthetically pleasing, and if they don't shoot well as they did last night, it is downright ugly. 19 points in the first half for Virginia. But the idea that we're going to put more teams like Virginia in the tournament at the expense of McNeese, at the expense of Indiana State, at the expense of Samford. I mean, McNeese and Samford, not Stanford, Samford. McNeese and Samford are a combined 61 and 7. Like, the idea that we're going to leave those teams behind because we want to add a below 500 SEC team, or we want to go and grab who's it? Like, what do you want to get, Georgia? Like, would you really rather see Georgia in this tournament, or would you rather see McNeese? And I think that's ultimately what it boils down to. The idea that we want to see more mediocre power teams versus elite lower division teams, or lower level teams, I should say, not lower division. They're all Division I. But the idea that we would rather see mediocre power teams versus elite low-level teams is complete insanity. I mean, who got left out of the SEC that you're really, like, LSU? Like, sure, selfishly around here, we would love to see LSU in, but they didn't make it. Mississippi State had a worse conference record, but they got in. Would you like to see Ole Miss in the tournament? Georgia in the tournament? They didn't earn their way in. And so let's stop acting like they deserve to get in when they had every opportunity to earn their way in. You know who earned their way in? McNeese, Samford. These teams earned their way. James Madison, right? These teams earned their way into the tournament. Whether it be they had amazing years and they went ahead and ran through their conference tournament or whatever. But there's such a, at the top, at the highest levels in the Big Ten and the SEC especially, there is such this belief that they are so far ahead of everyone else that they are superior in every way. And so the idea that we want to see more of them, of their mediocre and their bad teams, and less of elite lower level teams, especially in this event, right? I get it. In football, an LSU versus McNeese is not going to be exciting. It is, the one time out of 100 that an App State jumps up and beats a Michigan, who turned out Michigan wasn't even that good that year. Like that's fine. That happens from time to time. But this idea that in the basketball realm, that a McNeese couldn't beat an LSU, right? See, now it's different. LSU versus McNeese in football, that's a blowout. McNeese versus LSU in basketball, I'll take McNeese right now. And the basketball floor, because of the transfer portal, because of the depth of talent that is available, typically on the basketball floor, you are much more equal. And that's why we've had 2 16s beat 1s in the last 5, 6, 7 years, because that's the way that college basketball is now working. That guys get disgruntled somewhere, they don't like where they're at, they go to JUCO, maybe they're undiscovered in JUCO, and they blossom when they get to a Siena, as opposed to going and being at Kentucky, right? And you think of the number of guys who are good enough to play at a higher level, but are found, discovered, whatever, by coaches at lower levels. So I don't understand this idea that we need to make that tournament more exclusive. Nobody wants that. Now let's get to some texts on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line before we hit the break. El Jefe said, let's see, you must have your truck at blah, blah. I'm not going to name names. They got to me pretty good. $195 to look at it, $1,200 to fix it 8 days later. 8 days in the shop, 4-hour repair. Yeah, you are correct, by the way, where my truck is, but I'm not going to say that publicly. Cocky said, welcome to Father Patrick's Confessional on UHF. Yeah, the headboard at the house is definitely very confessional-ish. It's kind of old school. Again, it's from Pakistan, so it's pretty cool, pretty ornate. There's like real ivy. There's real ivory in there, so it's pretty cool. Double J said, let's go G-Men. You're absolutely right. The mid-majors make March Madness the most exciting first weekend of any sports tournament, period. Yeah, period. Say it again for the folks in the back. Period, end of discussion. The first week and really it's the first 4 days. The first 4 days of the NCAA tournament are better than anything else in sports. It is wall-to-wall action. There are plenty of blowouts, but there are also plenty of close games, and the upsets are what we remember. I mean, do you remember anything about anything, but you still remember Ali Faroukmanesh from Northern Iowa, right? Like, we don't remember anything, but we still remember, at least I do, Northwestern State and Iowa, and that game still comes up, and that's 06. 18 years later, and people still talk about that buzzer beater, right? How many times have we seen Gonzaga and Adam Morrison and the slipper still fits and all of that stuff? We see it all the time. We see the Hayward almost hitting the half-court shot to win the national championship for Butler. Like, this is stuff that is etched in our memories and will be etched in our memories for years and years and years, decades. You don't have that in college football. I mean, I'm sitting here right now, and I'm trying to remember the first 2 games of the playoff last year in college football. Michigan won the championship, and I mean, I barely can even remember who else was in the games. Washington ended up playing them for the title, and Washington lost to Michigan for the championship. But that's what I'm talking about. We remember the insanity that happens during March Madness. We remember the 16s that beat ones. We remember amazing shots to send an upset, send a lower seed over a higher seed. That's the stuff that happens in the NCAA tournament that we don't get in any other sporting event in the world. All right, let's take a break. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't get the audio working there on doing phone calls. Apologies. I was hoping that was going to work, and I could see I could see his audio, but for whatever reason, it was not heading on down the line. I don't know why. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Don't forget to go follow us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. It's youtube.com/@Netherton Show. We'll be back. Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here in 1130 The Tiger. Rogers, that's him back there in the studio. I would be Patrick. So Rogers, what's our matching combination today for hat shirt? What are we going with today? Since I don't get to see you today. Yeah, okay. As soon as you said black and gold Harry Potter shirt, I knew where the hat was. That was easy. Also, is that weird, Rogers, if I just asked another grown man what he's wearing? Okay. Okay. I'm jot that down in my notes. Make sure. Well, you don't know that he's there. I mean, it's if they can't see you, you don't have a chance. Yeah. Hambone, okay, maybe a dumb question. Do you have True TV? Okay, so the reason I ask is I'm guessing you will be missing a few NCAA games. Okay. Well, obviously CBS and TBS and TNT, and then True TV, which most people just know from the show Impractical Jokers, which I love, by the way. I love the Impractical Jokers, and obviously we've had Murr on the show, had him at GeekCon, so we're big fans, but I do enjoy the idea that nobody seems to know where True TV is. And it's funny because I saw something that said, the most frequently asked questions of the NCAA tournament, one is, where is True TV? And I'm like, well, I've got TV. So they don't have channel numbers. They're just in a grid on the lineup. There's no numbers that I have to worry about. It's not like, oh, well, True TV is channel 249 or whatever. No, True TV is just wherever I put it in the guide. So I've got to think, Rogers, for a guy on your side of the electronic ledger, the idea that you have to that channels no longer have numbers is probably a little bit odd, right? Right. I love that. But I will say this for my boy Hambone. Look, you show him once, like with the clean feed thing that we did today. I basically just went over it. It took like 5 minutes to go over it, and my man, boom, just ready to go, rock and roll, and we were on and going today. He knows how to use the YouTube TV in the studios. Now we have new TVs that he's got to learn when we moved in, and sure enough, our boy figured it out. He can still learn. Our boy Hambone's got the abilities. He may play dumb at times, but he still got it. All right, Rogers, I got to tell you this story from yesterday. So I'm calling softball down in Natchitoches. It was Northwestern State and Texas Southern. Texas Southern had only played 13 games all season long, and also highlights a little bit of the resource gap that exists. They had only played 13 games, and the reason why is because they were unable to kind of gather the money together to go play in a lot of these pre-conference tournaments. Softball is big on these 4, 5, 6 team tournaments, round robins, where you go to Texas and you play at the Longhorn Invitational, or you go to Baylor and you play in the Baylor whatever. Down in Youngsville, I believe they have one called the Mardi Gras Mambo. So, and Texas Southern unable to kind of be able to muster the sort of resources to travel like that, and their coach was very frustrated, and understandably so. their coach a little frustrated by what's going on there. So I get it. Um, so yeah, I understand the issues there. I understand why. Oh, did we lose it? I'm not connected. Okay. All right. I'm up on on the phone, Rogers. Okay. I don't know. It just dropped for no good reason. Yeah. So I'm sending you the invite again. I don't know why it just dropped. I mean, I don't. No, no. Just I mean, you just close it out and then redo it just the way you did before. No, no. It just dropped. I was just yeah. I've already sent it. There it is. Yep. Okay. All right. All right. Are we back, Rogers? I guess so. I hear myself, so that's a good sign. All right, so we are back and running. Apologize for that. We had little technical snafu. The connection just went down for no good reason. Don't know why, but we're back. So I was telling the story. Um, so yesterday, softball and Texas Southern unable to play in a lot of the various tournaments that go on, and so they only played 13 games, but they've been very competitive, 6-7, and very competitive. So before the game, Rogers, I happened to run into Daryl Walker. Now that name might not mean anything to you, but if you are aware of Sweetie's Barbecue down in Natchitoches, then it may be. What in the world? Well, it looks like we got disconnected again. Well, that's no good. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, you are still obviously. Oh, there we go. We're back. It's very strange. I don't know why it keeps popping in and out. Huh. Very strange. I don't know. All right. Well, we're back. Not sure exactly what's going on over there. But okay. So softball and getting ready to call the game, and I drive down there, and I see the big barbecue food truck of Sweetie's Barbecue from Natchitoches. Rogers, you may remember, I went and did the East Bank Mafia Barbecue Festival over in the East Bank a couple of weeks ago, right? A couple of weekends ago. Well, one of the judges was a guy named Daryl Walker, aka Sweetie, who has Sweetie's Barbecue down in Natchitoches. Sweetie's an absolute sweetheart, like lives up to his reputation. He's a great person and a heck of a lot of fun to hang out with. And so he was one of our judges. Well, Sweetie has been in all kind of competition barbecue. He has been all over the place in terms of, he's competed in Memphis in May, up in Memphis, which is one of the biggest tournaments there is. He's competed in the KC Masterpiece. Like he's been and done some real deal barbecue. But he has a brick and mortar place in Natchitoches. I have not been to his place yet, and I keep meaning to go. He's only open on weekdays, not weekends, so it makes it a little less convenient for me to be able to get down there. But anyway, so Sweetie was one of our judges on for the East Bank Mafia Barbecue Festival. Well, fast forward to yesterday. I pull into the parking lot to get ready to go to call this softball game between Northwestern State and Texas Southern, and I see Sweetie's rig. He's pulling his barbecue trailer. So I go over to where he's over by the baseball field. So I go over there and I chat with him. What are you up to? I'm feeding the baseball teams. There was a JUCO game going on. I think LSU Alexandria was there. I'm feeding the baseball teams. I'm like, cool, that's awesome. Sounds great. I said may try to get over here after our game is over with and maybe sample some of the stuff you got cooking. He wasn't doing any he wasn't doing sliced brisket or ribs or any of that stuff. It was way more finger food stuff that you could eat. A team could eat after the game. So during the middle of the softball game, Sweetie moves his truck into the parking lot right outside of softball. And I'm like, well, we're going to take this opportunity. We're going to put him on the air, at least his truck. So we coming back from one of our breaks, we have a nice camera shot of his truck out in the parking lot. And I'm texting him, and I'm like, hey, are you what's going on? He said, well, it turns out we're actually catering the softball team, not catering the JUCO baseball game that was going on over across the parking lot. I'm like, cool, well, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully there's enough where I can sample some of it. So fast forward to the end of the game, Northwestern State walks it off in the bottom of the seventh. It was 1-1 going into the bottom of the seventh, 2 outs, nobody on. Freshman Allie Delafield from North DeSoto. A lot of folks will know her brother, who is the current quarterback at North DeSoto, and her older sister, E.C. Delafield, who was a star at Northwestern State. So she hits a triple to right and almost scores when the throw went awry, but she was laying down. She had slid, and so she was on the ground when the ball got away. If she was standing when the ball got away, she would have scored easily and the game would have been over. So freshman with the triple with 2 outs, and then the 9 spot in the order comes up, and another freshman gets a single through the right side, ball game. Northwestern State walks it off 2-1. Cool. Well, we get done with the game, and I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm gonna go try some Sweeties. I have not had his stuff before. I've heard all great things about it. I need to make this happen. So I go over there, and they've put out a bunch of boxes, and all the softball players are coming through and eating. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna let them get through and then see if there's anything left over. In the meantime, Sweetie gave us some bread pudding, and it was one of the best bread puddings I've ever had in my entire life. It was sweet, but wasn't cloying, where it was just all sweet, all sweet. He put some stuff on it that gave it a nice texture. There was some crunch involved, as well as the pudding itself and the drizzle of the sauce and all that. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I really wanted to try some of the good stuff. Well, he had done meat pies, and he'd done brisket meat pies. He'd done brisket egg rolls. He'd done a chopped beef sandwich. He had some wings, and he had a kind of a traditional meat pie. So after all the softball players eat, I roll over there. I pick up a box. They had like 6 or 7 boxes left, so I knew I wasn't going to deprive anyone of their food. Bring it back over, and we're standing in the parking lot around Sweetie's truck. He's sitting in the cab. Me, Jason Pugh, our SID, and Sweetie. And so I open up the box and I give Pugh one of the, we're both just sampling, right? So we both have one of the brisket egg rolls, and then we both have, we both got to try a little bit of the other sampler, the little meat pie, and then we both had a wing. They were delicious. Well, then our producer in Rogers, your good buddy, James Stanfield, rolls up. He is our ESPN Plus producer. He's been in studio with us multiple times. Great dude, great human being, and very good at his job. Very good at his job. So James rolls up, he parks, and he comes over there, and I'm like, well, I'm going to be super friendly because I've already sampled all of this. I'm going to let him sample some of this. So, Rogers, I take the box and I start to hand it to him, and somehow he knocks the box out of my hand and onto the ground. And so, in this asphalt parking lot are like 5 wings and part of a Natchitoches meat pie, and like all of this food is just sitting on the asphalt. And he looks at me and he's like on the verge of tears. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. And I, of course, am playing it up at this point. I've already eaten, right? I've already gotten to sample everything, so I'm good. And it was free. If this was a $70 tray of barbecue that I had ordered at some spot and he knocked that over, we would have had some problems. But it was free. I had gone and stolen it from the softball team. Like, it was not a big deal. And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe, I'm so sorry." And I'm like playing it up. I'm like, "I cannot believe you did, like, of all the things to ruin my beautiful day." And just really giving him the business about it. And to his credit, he picked up, I don't know if that's to his credit actually, he picked up one of the wings off the ground and ate it. Now, I don't know if there was some grit in there, some extra, a little bit of extra fiber that he got to take down with that wing, but he did. He ate one of the wings that was a ground wing. But Sweetie's food was fantastic. I really look forward to getting back over there and really sampling it and having a good time. James also told me, Rogers, he literally texted me as I was driving back to Shreveport from Natchitoches. And he was like, "Man, I'm so sorry. Like, can I give you some cash or whatever? Like, can I give you some money for what, I'm like, "Dude, it was free. It didn't cost me anything." Like this, again, if this was like a $70 platter of barbecue and you knocked it out, and we would have had issues. But this was this was free. And it was finger foods and it was delicious. But James thought that he actually took his knife out and he's like, "If you just want to stab me right now, you can. Like, I'll understand." But yeah, so that was had a great walk-off, had a good call of a walk-off hit for Northwestern State to beat Texas Southern. And then got to sample a little barbecue, and then James Stanfield showed up and knocked it out of my hands. And apologized profusely. And again, it was adorable watching him apologize and literally pull out his pocket knife and be like, "You can stab me if you want." And then offer to pay me money after I should have taken it, Rogers. Damn, I need the money. I should have just taken the money. What am I thinking? That guy's getting paid more than me. I should take his money. He's only spending it on Taco Bell and Sonic plushes. So it's not like he needs it. Anyway, there's my tale of woe. Got my barbecue knocked out of my hands last night. But if you are in Natchitoches, highly recommend you go check out Sweetie's Barbecue. Again, only open on weekdays, not on weekends. So go check him out. Darrell Walker and Sweetie's, just a beautiful place. And make sure you get the bread pudding because that stuff was ridiculous. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, talk more about the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about LSU bowing out of the basketball season. Baseball against Louisiana Tech last night, if you want to discuss that. Softball, all available for you. Don't forget, we will be at DAX tomorrow from 1 to 3 on Southern Loop. DAX on the Southern Loop, 1 to 3 tomorrow. I will be out there on location. Happy hour all day long. $1.50 off of everything. I think it's $1.50 off appetizers and drinks, I believe. It may just be drinks. I'll have to double check on that. But it is happy hour all day long, and it's a great deal. Amazing food out there at Dax Wings and Grill. Again, on the Southern Loop. I'll be out there from 1 to 3 tomorrow, so come visit and hang out. All right, we'll take a break, come back. More of the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. We got some comments when we return. Hey, we welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show. Right here at 11:30, The Tiger, Rogers and Patrick, that's us. Hope everyone is having themselves a wonderful day. Let's get to some messages. Don't forget you can reach us in a couple of ways. You can reach us via the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426, or you can reach us if you like via the YouTube channel. We are available over on YouTube, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. So if you want to reach us there, you can do that as well. James, who we just talked about, who ripped the barbecue out of my hands and threw it on the ground, said, in terms of March Madness, I am the 69th ranked in keeping barbecue in Patrick Netherton's hand. Yeah. Luckily, I'd already basically sampled everything, though I was going to eat the rest of those wings. There were like 4 or 5 wings left, and I was going to eat the rest of them. They were good. They were kind of a spicy honey barbecue kind of. It was really good, and I was going to hammer them, but I never got the chance because, look, here's the thing. I don't mind picking up food and eating it in various places. But I am not a fan of eating food off of the ground. Like, I know my floors are pretty clean, so if I drop something on the floor and I really want to eat it, I might do that because I know where my floors have been. But dropping something on the asphalt parking lot in between Prather Coliseum and the Lady Demon Diamond, perhaps not the best one. Austin on the YouTube channel said, "Is Patrick live from a Catholic confessional booth?" Yeah, again, this is the headboard that my grandmother actually procured in Pakistan back in the day and brought home with her. It's obviously not a headboard. It's not how it started. It was originally, I believe, like a privacy partition kind of thing. It's got hinges on it, and so you can kind of set it up in, I don't even know what to say. I'm not sure exactly how to describe the little, squigglies back and forth like you see on Charlie Brown's shirt. So you could set it up like that and use it as kind of a privacy screen, if you will. But it was handmade in Pakistan and just, beautiful piece. So I, said, hey, my mom used it as her headboard for a while, and then she gifted it to me, and I use it as mine. It's a great conversation piece. Again, the only real problem is there's not a lot of conversation going on around this thing. So it would be cool to have it as a conversation piece and to have people be like, oh, that's really pretty, but, no one's here. It's just me alone, as it always is. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Rogers, I saw this morning a lady had a chance to win 3 cars and didn't get it done on The Price is Right. It was pretty crazy. All right, so Grambling taking on Montana State. That is a 5:40 p.m. game. You also have a lot of games going on as well within the NCAA tournament. The women's tournament will be getting going here before too long. But there's a lot of stuff happening here in the NIT and the CBI and the CIT and all that. But your games to note for today from Dayton, Grambling and Montana State at 5:40, and then Colorado and Boise State at 8:10 Central Time. Hambone, guess who the sideline guy is for those games? That would be your friend and mine, John Rothstein. Yeah. Our boy Rothstein is the man, the myth, the legend. Yep, he is. He's doing Dayton, and then I think think they go to. I'm not sure which region they go to after that. I'd have to go look it up. Tomorrow, again, show will be coming to you from Dax. So if you are a fan of wings or burgers or salads or just about anything else, any other kind of food you like, or you like $1.50 off your drinks for happy hour, Dax is the place for you out on the Southern Loop. We will be there tomorrow doing our show from 1 to 3. Come in and have a drink, say hello, chill with us. We'd love to have you. Always enjoy spending some time out at Dax for the first day of the NCAA tournament. Tom Izzo, who had the comments about the need for fewer low major, mid major automatic qualifiers, is leading off the tournament tomorrow. 11:15 a.m. taking on Mississippi State. 11:40 a.m. It will be Duquesne and BYU, and it could be the final game for Keith Dambrot, who has announced his retirement from the Dukes. You got 14 seed Akron against 3 seed Creighton. That'll be at 12:30. And then the games that'll be on when we are on, we'll catch a little bit of the end of, we'll probably catch a little bit of the end of both Michigan State, Mississippi State, and Duquesne, BYU. Then we will get most of Akron and Creighton. We will get all of Arizona and Long Beach State, and what a story Long Beach State is. Dan Munson being fired on Monday, and his team going through the tournament and making it all the way to the NCAA tournament. So Long Beach State and Arizona's at 1. Wagner, the 16 seed against 1 seed North Carolina, that will be at 1:45. Morehead State, a 14 seed against 3 seed Illinois, that's at 2:10. And then South Carolina gets things underway at 3 o'clock with taking on Oregon. So there you go. So the games you'll be able to watch with us at Dax tomorrow will be the end of Michigan State, Mississippi State, the end of Duquesne, BYU. We'll get to see most of Creighton and Akron. We'll get to see all of Arizona, Long Beach State, North Carolina, Wagner, Illinois, Morehead State. And then we'll get to see the beginning of South Carolina and Oregon. So very much looking forward to it. Being out at Dax, it's kind of a tradition for us. We get out to Dax and have a big old time. So come join us tomorrow from 1 to 3 out on the Southern Loop. The matchups as they go along, I'm looking for kind of what are the matchups that are the most fun to watch. By the way, that McNeese-Gonzaga matchup, 6:25. That'll be on TBS tomorrow, not CBS, TBS. Will be McNeese and Gonzaga. Tomorrow, you've got tomorrow a lot of you don't have the ones. North Carolina is the only one playing, but there are not a lot of there's 3 of the 7-10s, which is good. Dayton, Nevada, Texas and Colorado State, Washington State, and Drake. Those are, you like to have your 7-10s. You got a few 6-11s. But, you've got 3 of your 2 seeds are playing tomorrow. Iowa State, South Dakota State, Tennessee, St. Peter's, and Arizona and Long Beach State. So you're getting out some of those games tomorrow. And again, we'll be out at Dax from 1 to 3. Meanwhile, you look over at Friday's schedule, and we will be at Walk-Ons on Friday, not doing the show on Friday. No show on Friday. But Fletch and Rogers and I and maybe Hester and whoever else wants to come out, everyone's invited. So if you want to be a part of hanging out with us, have a beer, have a cheese log, hang out, have a little bite to eat with us, well, we've got that available for you. That will be on Friday, and we will be there. So Rogers, the games we will get to be watching while we're hanging out at Walk-Ons on Friday: Florida Atlantic and Northwestern, Baylor and Colgate. San Diego State UAB in a 5:12. And then if we make it all the way to 1 o'clock, which we may or may not, we would have Marquette in Western Kentucky. I imagine we'll be there till 1, if I had to guess. Fletch and Rogers probably won't get there till probably 11:30 or so. I'll be there a little earlier to secure a table. But, yeah, and then you've got UConn, the prohibitive favorite to win the whole thing. UConn and Stetson are playing each other. That will be at 1:45. So, again, tomorrow out at Dax on the Southern Loop. I will be there hanging out, doing the show. Come watch, come enjoy. We would absolutely love to have you out at Dax. Happy hour all day long. And then on Friday, Fletcher and Rogers and myself and maybe Hester will be out at the walk-ons on Uri Drive. So big time of tournament watching over lunch for the next couple of days, and we encourage you to get out there. Again, no show for me on Friday, as we'll be watching the tournament. So apologies for that. All right, LSU baseball got it done last night. No real surprise. They took care of business against Louisiana Tech, smarting off of really getting handled by Mississippi State. How about the Mississippi teams taking down the baseball and softball squads for LSU? Ole Miss ruins the perfect season for LSU and then goes on and takes 2 of 3 and almost could have swept. I mean, it was not far from sweeping. They Ole Miss taking that series against LSU in softball. LSU had been undefeated. Meanwhile, you had the LSU baseball team that went to Starkville. By the way, that was in Baton Rouge. Then you had the LSU baseball team go to Starkville, and Mississippi State put up a lot of runs and played very well, and ultimately ended up getting 2 of 3 from LSU as well. So Mississippi State and Ole Miss taking it to LSU on the softball and baseball diamond. Cocky said, Gamecock Club, first tip at 3 o'clock, meeting at Dax on Southern Loop. Yeah, come out and hang out, man. I don't know how long after 3 I'm going to be able to stay, but I will be there before 1. So if you want to come out and have lunch, I will be there setting up, kind of getting everything ready to go. So I will definitely, but after 3, I may have to vamoose and head back to the house. But yeah, I will definitely be there before 1. So if you want to chit chat, say hello or whatever, get there before 1 o'clock, because I will be there setting up and kind of getting ready for the show. But it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Very much looking forward to it. A blast as always to be a part of the fine folks over at Dax on the Southern Loop. And again, we'll be at Walk-Ons on Friday, so come hang out with us in both spots. Don't forget also, go make sure that you are a part of the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. It's youtube.com/@Netherton Show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It is 100% free, and we would greatly appreciate it if you would. We would be very kind if you were to hook that up with us. That would be very nice. So see about doing that if you don't mind. That would be very kind of you. All right. Should we take our final break, Rogers? That says yes in Rogers speak. Dun, dun, dun. All right, he's Hambone. I'm Patrick. We'll be back. Just everything, all the entire internet just blinked on my computer for some reason, and I don't know why. But we're back up and running. We're back and good to go. So if you're watching or listening, we're back. And Trey gave us a rush. Oh, technology sometimes, Hambone, you know. Remember the good old days when you just you'd roll out there with a truck with a 40-foot pole with an antenna on the end of it? Those were the days. Hey, you don't get that anymore. All right. We are back and hope everyone is doing well, having themselves a wonderful day. The madness starts back up again in a couple of hours, and then we get the real madness starting tomorrow when we have all of the teams going back at it again, and that will be a heck of a lot of fun. We'll get half the games tomorrow and then half the games on Friday, and then by the time we get back on the air on Monday, we'll have a Sweet 16, and we will know what's going on. That's always, look, it's always the best time of year, in my opinion, to have that and just to be able to watch the tournament, just sit down and relax. Rogers, have we heard any great vasectomy deals? You know, that's always the time period when they have vasectomy deals. Yeah. Ain't no man getting that close to Rogers with a knife. That ain't gonna happen. No, exactly. I mean, I'm guessing probably not in any region. Right, I'm just saying, like, no man's got, you know, and what happened to those poor people that pulled the knives on you? Exactly. So my original thought process stands. You ain't getting anywhere near Hambone with a knife. It just ain't happening. Hambone gonna handle his business. Also, not for nothing, but there's not as much surface area on a Rogers Hampton. You know, cutting me is a lot easier than cutting Rogers. Yeah, there's just so much more surface area. Yeah, and I remember Rogers, a buddy of mine is like a karate, like national karate champion. I mean, dude was insane. And I always remember I would ask him about just different, all right, like, you know, what's it like fighting against a guy with nunchucks or this, that. And I remember, the thing I remember him saying was the one fight, obviously guns and stuff, you don't want to fight against people with guns. But he said the one sort of hand-to-hand fight that he hated the most was a knife. He said, because he was a bouncer for a while in Ruston, so he's been through it. Well, he said, look, the problem is when a guy comes at you with a knife, in order to subdue him and get the knife away from him, you're probably going to get cut. Like, it's just sort of an inevitability, because you have to get close enough to the guy to be able to, like, take the knife away. And he said, chances are it's going to cut you. He says that's why he always hated facing a dude with a knife. He's like, fists, I can block and dodge and parry and all that stuff. He said, a dude with a knife, nothing, you know that even when you go in and you may overpower him and have the advantage and all that, but he said probably the knife is going to get you somewhere. And Rogers, that's why I don't mess with folks with knives. Even though I mess with Rogers. And Rogers has a knife. He did. He offered to let me cut him. But come on, man. I wasn't going to do that to my boy James. What I really, honestly, Rogers, what I should have done is I should have cut a lock of his hair. Like, that would have probably hurt him worse than me just stabbing him in the stomach. Not like physically hurt, because obviously stabbing you in the stomach's going to hurt a lot worse than chopping off some hair. Yeah, but I think emotionally, I could have harmed him worse if I had just chopped some of the hair off. Because, it's very, very Samson-ish with the hair. Wasn't he the hair guy, Rogers? Samson? Wasn't Samson the hair guy? Yeah, the one you cut his locks and he loses his power. Much like Rogers Hampton. That's the, if you really want to know why Rogers wears a hat most of the time, it's because if he didn't wear a hat, the power and radiance of his hair would literally be too much for 99% of the population to take. The only people that can withstand the radiance and power of Rogers' hair are people who work very closely with nuclear reactors, because they are used to that level of radiation and power, basically. I'm just saying, when Rogers takes his hat off, you don't even know. Like in Rogers, when they in movies, when the nerdy girl who is not attractive and takes off her glasses, and she takes her ponytail out and she waves her hair, and then suddenly she's a smoke show. That's Rogers. I don't want to freak anyone out. I'm just saying, if you show up on Friday to walk-ons, ask Rogers to take his hat off, but don't be surprised if you don't remember the next few hours. And you wake up somewhere you didn't know how you got there. Yeah. Well, and I've, much like my Super Bowl party, Rogers, I've asked you enough times to know what the answer is. And though I ask you to the Super Bowl party for the fun on air, I really know what the answer is. So I didn't ask Rogers to come out to Dax tomorrow because I already knew what the answer would be, especially with Friday and us going to walk-ons. So Hambone's got a certain, let's call it like a public meter. He's got certain abilities to handle the public, and it kind of drains his meter when he's out in public. And so we got to make sure that Rogers doesn't have his meter drained. We got to make sure of that. All right, let's see. Cocky said make haste. Trey said rush. All of that good stuff. Madness begins again tonight. Grambling, a 4.5 point underdog. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them win, man. Montana State, happy to be there. That'll be 5:40 on True TV. And then that's followed by Colorado and Boise State at 8:10, also on True TV. All right, don't forget, we're out at Dax tomorrow. Come out and see us, man. Looking forward to it. Going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. Happy hour all day. Dax on the Southern Loop. Come join us. We'll be there from 1 to 3. I'll get there a little early. I'll be there in the 12 o'clock hour. And then for the rest of the show, 1 to 3, doing it live from Dax. Come check us out on the Southern Loop. We will have no show on Friday, but we will be at Walk-Ons for lunch on Friday in Shreveport. So Dax on the Southern Loop tomorrow, doing the show 1 to 3. Then lunchtime on Friday out at Walk-Ons. For the beautiful, lustrous hair of Rogers Hampton, I'm Patrick Netherton. Y'all be safe and careful out there, and come see us at Dax on Southern Loop tomorrow from 1 to 3 on the Patrick Netherton Show.